So something I've been thinking about, probably to like an unhealthy degree lately, is the existence of free will. So free will, at least to me, I believe everybody is born. It's an innate trait of being human. You have free will. Like I can, like the shoe. That was entirely within my free will to do that. Yeah, I have the free will. I could throw these earbuds. Like, just, I don't want to because those are expensive, but yeah, you get the point. And then anybody could do that. Anybody who's in my position with that shoe could throw that shoe. You, if there's a shoe nearby you, you have the free will to throw it down a flight of stairs. Probably, I should not have done that, but oh well. Yeah, you have the free will to do that. And it's a very interesting concept. The thing is, I also consider myself like somewhat of a rationalist. I believe logic is the foundation of any good society. Like, a society must be based on logic, math, science, all that. And that might be, honestly, challenge the existence of free will. So if you've taken any like level of physics classes, you know that the universe, at least on like Newtonian physics, is all deterministic. If I were to, I still don't want to toss those earbuds. Shoe. If I toss this shoe, the second it leaves my hand, if I were to throw the shoe, I should not throw those shoes. The second I throw the shoe, I know exactly like how far it's going to go just by the knowledge of like the speed the second it leaves my hand, and like how far, like gravity, air resistance, all that. The universe, and as such, us humans, can know exactly where it'll land, and like at each point how far it will be. Like, that's the universe on a Newtonian scale is deterministic. Why do we assume that's just on a small scale? Like, could it be that by the creation of the universe, everything, all the math had already been done, and it was already known where everything was going to end up? Like, we know that's pretty much true with the motion of the planets. Second Big Bang, everything starts moving outwards based off the current models and theories. These start moving outwards. We know the current velocity. We could calculate the velocity, and we could calculate how far they'll be after several billion years. That's how we were able to calculate the inevitable heat death and things like that. And does that inherently take away the existence of free will? Because why would we not assume that applies to us? The second that we're born, all the forces that would be applied to us, and as such we apply to ourselves, have already been decided by the universe itself. I know Kurzgesagt has a video on that. That's kind of what got me thinking of this. I just find that really interesting. Something I did not see them mention is how this could also apply to Einstein's theories. And instead of looking at it on just a Newtonian level, also analyzing it on higher dimensions. Whereas Newton stuff, we primarily work with that in 3 dimensions. I'm not sure. I never worked with throwing 4-dimensional basketballs when I took physics. So I'm actually not sure if that works in 4D, but Einstein proved that the 4th dimension was space-time. Now, I don't have anything there. So imagine for a second you're on just this line. This is the 1st dimension. At each point yeah, you guys cannot see that well, but each point along this line, the whole, no matter where you go on that line, the whole line still exists. Now, that if it's infinitely long, that it still holds true. But then if we add a second dimension, this becomes a plane. And like no matter like those dots right there, even if this was infinitely large, from the perspective that dot, even if you have that dot right there, the whole thing still exists. So if you're right there, the whole thing still exists. Now, the same is true in 3 dimensions. No matter where you are in 3 dimensions, like everywhere exists. Like this shoe still exists. If I were to throw this shoe into space a billion miles, it would still exist. So why not assume that this doesn't apply to higher dimensions, space-time? Like if you were to go back to this, if you're to place like a one-dimensional line, you have a two-dimensional object in 3D space, and all of 3D space still applies to that 2D object. And then if you point a point on a one-dimensional, or put a point, it's 0 dimensions, all of the 1 dimension still exists. So theoretically, if you have a 2-dimensional object in a 3-dimensional space, all of the 3rd dimension still exists. So going off of the 4th dimension being space-time, us being a 3-dimensional object in a 4-dimensional universe, whereas no matter where you go in space-time, all of space-time still exists. Now, this would mean that starting at like the beginning of the universe, all space-time still exists. Thus, all of time exists. So no matter where you are in time, all of time is happening all at once. This one I'm less like confident in. That was a bit different. Einstein's theories are weird. So yeah, free will does exist. I like to think so.